Hello, everybody. Welcome to Power Yoga. Thank you for bearing with us. We had a couple of technical difficulties getting this live. We are ready to go. Hope that you've had a fantastic day, no matter what time of day you're actually taking this class. My name is Claire. I'm here in the studio with my friend Dorothy. We are ready to bring some power with the Power Yoga. Are you ready to bring some power, Dorothy?
Ready.
Of course. So this class, Power Yoga, we're going to do 45 minutes today. Gentle, not so gentle flow, but every movement that we do is going to be linked with your breath to create a nice flow in your body and to stretch, open, strengthen every muscle, every bone, every joint. We're ready to go. So let's come down to the floor in child's pose. If you have never done power yoga before, follow Dorothy. She's going to be demonstrating all of the postures. I will provide some modifications throughout the class, so always feel free to take the modification or take rest if that is what your body is craving today. Take a nice big breath in through your nose. Hold it at the top. Now open your mouth, exhale, and sigh it out. Let's do that again. Big breath in through your nose. Hold the top. Open your mouth, exhale, sigh it out. One more time, everybody. Breathe in. Hold the top. Open your mouth, exhale, sigh it out. Stretch your fingers out now towards the top of the mat. Just inch them forward. Now, as you exhale, walk both of your hands over to the right side. As you walk your hands off to the right, push down through your left palm and guide your left hip to your heel. These are the gentle opening stretches. This is what gets your body ready for the bigger movements, for the stronger, more powerful movements. It's also give you the opportunity to land on your mat and just find your connection with your breath. Inhale, walk your hands back to center. Exhale, go the other direction. Hands walk off to the left. This time push down through your right palm and guide your right hip back to your heel. Nice and long through your side body. Inhale, walk everything back to center. Stretch your fingers forward. And now roll forward, find a tabletop. Shoulders line up over your wrists. Knees walk underneath your hips. If you'd like a foot stretch to start this out, go ahead, tuck your toes under and send your heels up towards the ceiling so that you stretch the feet and the ankles. Take a breath in, let your belly sink down to the floor, roll your heart open for a cow stretch. Exhale, press the floor away, round your spine, relax your head at the top. Inhale back down into your cow pose, roll your shoulders open, lift your chest. Exhale, push the floor away, round your spine, relax your head there at the top. One more time, inhale, belly comes down towards the floor, roll your heart open and through. Exhale, push the floor away, round your spine, relax your head. Inhale back down to a neutral spine. Pull your ribs to your hips, gaze slightly forward. Now pick up your right hand and reach your right hand forward in front of you. We're moving into bird dog. With your right hand extended, now lift up your left leg and send your left leg to the wall behind you. Hold your core nice and tight. Try not to let your spine kind of sink down or your belly sink down to the floor. Find your rib to hip connection and hold your balance. Now take a breath in here. As you exhale, pull your elbow towards your knee underneath your body. Round your spine as the elbow connects to the knee. Inhale, extend, reach forward and back. Exhale, elbow to the knee, pull in, crunch in, round your spine. One more time, inhale, reach forward and back. Exhale, knee to your elbow, crunch, get it even closer this time. Inhale, extend. Leave your left leg where it is, put your right hand down. Now tuck your right toes under and lift up to a three-legged dog with your left leg extended up to the ceiling. Kick your foot up a little bit higher. Breathe in. Bend your left leg in half, flex your foot and stack your hips. Going into your hip opener, circle your knee, circle your hip, maybe point and flex your toe. Roll out anything that needs to move right now. Inhale, square your hips. Put your left foot down on the ground and hold here in downward facing dog just for a moment. Take a breath in. Exhale it out. Again, take a breath in. Sink your heels down closer to the floor. Exhale it out. Roll forward, find a high plank position. So all the way into high plank, you might have to adjust your hands a little bit. Pull your belly in as tight as you can. Push back through your heels, ribs to your hips. Find your core connection. Breathe in. Exhale, lower all the way down to the floor until your belly touches. Take as much time as you need to get your chest down. And now slide your thumbs back a couple of inches. Lift up to a cobra pose. Push the fronts of your hips down to the floor. Drop your shoulders down. Tops of your feet on the mat. Exhale, come back into tabletop. Yeah, so nice smooth transition. Very good. Line yourself back up, ribs to your hips. We're going to warm up the other side. Now send your left hand forward in front of you. Pick up your right leg and send it back behind you. Again, finding your balance here. Keep your hips even. Ribs to your hips, nice long spine. Take a breath in. Exhale, elbow comes in towards your knee. Round your spine, crunch in. Inhale, extend, arm comes forward and back. Exhale, elbow to your knee, crunch in. Try to make it touch underneath your body. Getting a little twist here as well. Inhale, extend, one more time. Exhale, elbow to your knee, crunch in. Take your time getting it there. You got it. One more inch. Inhale, extend. Right leg stays extended now. Put your left palm down on the floor. Now lift up into three-legged dog. This time right leg is the leg that stays lifted. Left heel pushes down to the floor. Bend your right leg in half. Flex your foot. Stack your hips. Turn your knee up to the ceiling. Breathe in here. Exhale, sigh it out. Square your hips, send your right foot back up to the ceiling. And now both feet connect down to the floor. Couple of breaths here, downward facing dog. Inhale. Exhale, sink the heels a little bit closer. Do that again. Inhale. Exhale, stretch the hamstrings down to the floor. Roll forward, find a high plank. Shoulders stack over your wrists. Knees can always lower to the ground if you need that support for your chaturanga. Exhale, lower down. Again, all the way to the floor. Belly touches the floor. Elbows squeeze in. Slide the thumbs back. Lift up. Find cobra. Find a little more space this time. Lift your chest up a little bit further. Exhale, tuck your toes. Come back. Downward facing dog. Lift your heels up, look to the top of the mat. Exhale, jump or step your feet towards your hands. Take a breath in, lengthen your spine, and lift up just halfway. Exhale, bow. Inhale, rise all the way up to stand. Stretch your fingers up towards the ceiling. Press your hips towards the front of the mat and come into a little backward bend. Lift your chest, reach your thumbs back towards the wall behind you. Now breathe in, come back through center. Exhale, fold down to the ground. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bow, plant your hands, and step back to high plank. Always have the option to lower down to your belly. For this one, we're going to exhale and lower down to a hover. Elbows stay tight to your body, chaturanga. You've got this, Dorothy. Nice. Keep the elbows hugged in. Inhale, come up and forward for upward facing dog. Ideally, the thighs stay off the ground, tops of the feet stay on the ground. Exhale, tuck your toes, come back, downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, let's start with the left side again. Step your big toes together. Lift your left leg up to the ceiling. Playing with your brain a little bit, starting with the left side. Exhale, pull the left knee towards your nose and hold it there. Just like you did in your tabletop. Inhale, kick straight back up to the ceiling. Exhale, this time bring your left knee to your left elbow. Tap it out nice and wide. Try to make it touch the elbow or even the tricep. Inhale, kick straight back up to the ceiling. Exhale, knee to the right elbow. This time, twist underneath your body, make it reach, pull forward, hold it, crunch in. Inhale, kick straight back up to the ceiling. Exhale, knee comes forward towards your nose. Step your foot through your hands and rise to crescent lunge. Now here's the thing. If you're newer to power yoga, your foot might not land exactly where you want it to. Here's a little tip. If it doesn't land where you want it to, you take your hand, you pick up your foot, and you move your foot to exactly where you want it to be. Deal? Yeah. Take a breath in, sink a little bit further. Now exhale, open out, find a warrior two. Gaze over your left fingertips, sit down a little bit lower. Really use this opportunity to open your hip flexors. Tilt your tailbone down to the ground, ribs to your hips, relax your shoulders. Strong through both legs. Take a breath in, reverse your warrior. Right hand comes down, reach towards the back of the room with your left hand. Exhale, cartwheel your hands to the floor. They come to frame your left foot. Stay right there for a runner's stretch just for a moment. Now ground your right palm, twist your left hand up to the ceiling, and gaze up at your left fingertips. Work on stacking your shoulders, rotating through the torso, and keeping the weight forward into your front foot. Big breath in here. Twist and reach. Exhale, hands come back down to the floor. Step it back to high plank. Shoulders stay forward. Lower it down, chaturanga. Elbows stay tight. Remember, you can always drop the knees. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, tuck the toes, come back, downward facing dog. Breathe. Second side. Lift your right leg up to the ceiling. Extend it as high as you can, and now pull your right knee towards your nose. Every time you bring it forward, try to use your core strength, really pull in and make it touch your nose. Inhale, kick straight back up to the ceiling. Exhale, right knee to the right elbow. Go ahead, tap it out wide. Nice, there it is. Come on, give me one more inch. There you go. Inhale, kick it straight back up. Exhale, knee to the left elbow. Right knee crosses under your body. Inhale, kick straight back up to the ceiling. Exhale, step your right foot now through your hands. Hug your thighs together for balance and rise to crescent lunge. Might notice one side feels different than the other. Totally normal to feel that way. Sit down a little bit lower. Try to keep the 90-degree angle in your right leg. Take a breath in. Exhale, you open out, warrior two. Push your hips forward, look over your fingertips, ribs to your hips, belly tight. Dig your heels down, find the power, ground your feet. Rotate your right knee over your right ankle. Now breathe in, reverse your warrior. Get long through the right side of your body as you stretch your fingertips back. Exhale, cartwheel your hands to the floor around your right foot. Find your runner's stretch and bring your weight forward, getting into the hip flexors. Left palm stays on the ground. Twist your right hand up to the ceiling. Stack your shoulders. Pull your belly in and twist your torso. Big breath in. Exhale, hand comes down to the floor. Step back to high plank. Shoulders stay forward over your wrists. Lower it down, chaturanga. Elbows tight, work the triceps. Inhale, heart comes up for upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a breath in. Exhale, sigh it out. Again, take a breath in. Exhale, sigh it out. Beauty of this practice, the postures build on each other. Getting ready to add on. Are you ready, Dorothy, to add on?
Yes.
She's like, sure. Inhale, lift your heels up, look to the top of the mat. Exhale, jump your feet forward towards your hands. Take a breath in, lengthen your spine, lift up halfway. Exhale, bow, sit down and find chair pose. Bend your knees. Ideally, keep your feet together, but know that it's okay to separate your feet and bring them underneath your hips. Pull your core tight, sit down a little bit lower. Find more space. Maybe you sit down a lot lower, I don't know. Rock your weight to your heels. Breathe in. Exhale, fold down to the floor. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bow, step back, find a high plank. Shoulders forward, lower it down to low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Step your big toes together to touch. Left leg extends to the sky. Bend your left leg in half, flex your foot, stack your hips. Option to stay here or flip your dog over. Drop the left foot over to the right side of the mat. Press your hips to the ceiling and reach towards the top of your mat. Find freedom, find openness in your chest. Push your palm into the ground, squeeze your butt, lift up. Breath in. Exhale, turn back around, kick to the ceiling with your left leg. Now pull your left knee to your nose and hold it here. I'm going to challenge you for a moment. How long can you stay with your shoulders stacked? Try to move your left knee now to your left elbow without backing out of your plank. Now move your left knee over to your right elbow. See if it touches the elbow or the tricep. Move it back to the right. Move it back to the left. Move it back to center. This is what we call core. Step your left foot through your hands and rise up to crescent lunge. Maybe you're feeling a little warmer now. Building the heat in your body. Feels so good. Sit down as low as you can. Take a breath in. Open up, find warrior two. Bend your knee a little more deeply. If you experience discomfort in your knee, it's always okay to back out of the lunge just a little bit. Breathe in, reverse your warrior. Right hand reaches down, left hand stretches to the wall behind you. Side angle, bring your left elbow to your left thigh. Stretch your right hand up and over towards the front of your mat. So you are actually making a diagonal line throughout the right side of your body. Keep reaching, keep digging your back foot down into the ground. Take a breath in. Exhale, bring your hands to the ground around your left foot. Come into your runner stretch. Big breath in. Lower now your right knee to the ground. Pull your hips back, come into half of a split. Flex your left foot, lengthen your spine, and now bow forward. Now you can see Dorothy's going pretty far back. You might have to go back that far to feel the stretch. You might leave your hips lifted a little bit higher so that your hip stacks over your knee and get a pretty intense stretch that way. Try to move your right hip slightly forward and left hip slightly back so that you're squaring off your hips. Breath in together. Exhale, bend back into the left leg. Nice job. Tuck your right toes under. Step your left foot back to meet your right foot. Stay right there. Leave your left palm on the ground. Come into side plank. Right hand reaches up to the ceiling. Lower your bottom knee to the ground if you need to. Stack your feet if you can. Maybe even play with floating your top foot away from your bottom foot. Lift up, feel your obliques working. Maybe you smile in this posture, I don't know. Take a breath in. Exhale, hands back down to the floor. We're all about the fun here at the Union. Not just the fitness, it's about the fun. Lower down, low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Ready to burn it up on the second side. Lift your right leg up to the sky. Bend your right leg in half, flex your foot, stack your hips. Now flip your dog over. Drop your right foot off to the left side of your mat. Press your hips up to the ceiling. Open your chest. Drive your hand down into the ground and squeeze your butt to lift the hips up a little bit higher. The more space, the more freedom here, the better. Turn back around, ground your right hand, and send your right leg straight back up. Big exhale, pull your right knee to your nose. Hold it with the shoulders stacked. Move your right knee to your right elbow. It's always okay to drop the left knee to the ground too. Now twist the right knee to the left elbow. Now move it back to the right. Keep your weight forward. Move it back to the left. Move it to the center. That's it, Dorothy. Now step your left foot through your hands. Rise up and find crescent lunge. It always feels so good to land after that core work, right? It's like I'm free. Take a deep breath. You find moments in your practice where you catch your breath, where you find a little comfort in the discomfort. Exhale, open out, warrior two. Bend your front knee more deeply. Press your hips forward. Guide your right knee over your right ankle. Back foot parallel with the back of the mat. Breathe in, reverse your warrior. Length through the side body. Side angle, right elbow to the right thigh. Stretch your left hand towards the top of your mat. Now press your hips a little more forward. Stack your shoulders. Find length now through the left side of your body. Stretch as long as you can, but dig your pinky toe, your back pinky toe into the ground. Take a breath in together, everybody. Bring your hands to the ground, runner stretch. When you get there, lower your left knee to the ground. Pull your hips back and find a half split. So notice she's got her hips lifted up. She's slowly lowering them back until she finds the sweet spot where her hamstring is really stretching. Try to keep your hips even. Left hip pulls back, right hip tips forward. Flex your foot and allow your forehead to come down towards your thigh, your knee, your shin, wherever it ends up landing. Take a breath in. Begin to release the posture. Bend back into your right leg. Tuck the left toes under, lift the left knee from the ground. Step your right foot back to meet the left. Ground your right palm and lift into side plank on the left. Left hand reaches up to the ceiling. Lift your left hip up a little bit higher. Squeeze your right hip, stack your hips. Pull the belly in as tight as you can. Ribs to the hips, one long line. Hands come back down to the ground, everybody. Shoulders stay forward. Let's lower it down. Chaturanga, elbows tight to your body. Inhale, come up, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Just breathe. Couple of breaths to find your equilibrium here. Big inhale. Exhale, side out. Do it again. Inhale. Exhale, side out. Lift your heels up, look to the top of the mat. Jump your feet towards your hands all the way forward. Now take a breath in, lengthen your spine, lift up. Exhale, bow. Sit down, find Utkatasana, your chair pose. Second time into Utkatasana, stretch your fingertips up towards the ceiling. Try to sit down lower if you can. Separate your knees maybe 1/4 of an inch. Notice how that feels. Tailbone drops down towards the floor, ribs to the hips. Long spine. Breath in. Exhale, fold to the ground. Breathe in, halfway lift. Exhale, bow, plant your hands, step back, high plank. Lower down, chaturanga, low plank. Inhale, find upward facing dog. Exhale, find downward facing dog. Send your left leg up to the sky. So we're gonna play for a moment. Extend your left leg a little bit higher. Now, twist your left knee over to your right elbow. Left knee to the right elbow.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, send your left leg underneath your body. We're coming into fallen stars, so just send your left leg underneath your body. That's it. Now wiggle your foot out. Straighten your left leg. Yeah, there you go, girlfriend. Now keep your back leg off the ground. Leave your left hand on the ground and twist your right hand up to the ceiling. Yes, now push your hips up. There you go. Turn your chest. Look at that. Now she's opening up. You've got it. You can always leave the back knee down if that's what your body needs, but stay right here. Push your hips up. One of my favorite postures. You can find so much freedom. So maybe straighten your back leg a little bit more if you can. There you go. Breath in. Exhale, hand back down to the ground. Now stay there. Dorothy, since you're such a bar master, what I want you to do is come to the ball of your right foot. So adjust yourself so you're on the ball of your right foot, okay, like you're in a plank. Drop your foot down.
All of the right. Okay.
So like you're in a plank, like you're gonna step back to plank.
Oh.
Sorry. And go right there. Hold the top of your plank. Exhale, lower down, low plank. Inhale, heart comes up and forward. We're gonna back out of that. Exhale, downward facing dog. Right away, left leg comes back up to the sky. Like I said, we're just gonna play. Pull your left knee to your nose. Left leg, left leg, left leg, left leg. Stay on the left side.
Let's say so. Okay.
Yeah, stay on the left side. Left knee comes forward towards your nose. See, she doesn't want to listen to me. True. Ground your foot and rise up to crescent lunge. Okay. Bend into your front leg. Stay nice and low. She's like, you didn't say left, you said right. Sit down just a little bit further. Now bring your hands to your heart center. Twist over to the left and hook your right elbow to the outside of your left knee. Now, if this is too intense, the stretch that we did at the beginning with your right palm down and your left hand to the ceiling, totally fine to go back to that. Push your palms into your heart center, right at your sternum. Twist and maybe fly your arms if you're ready. Try not to be attached to what's coming next. You'll get through it. Take a breath in. Come back to center, rise into crescent lunge. So just stretch your fingers up to the sky. Exhale, open out, warrior two. Bend your front knee. Open your left knee out a little bit further. See if you can find more space. Now breathe in, reverse your warrior, right hand down, stretch back with your left hand. Left elbow to the left thigh, let it rest, and bring the right hand up and over for side angle. If you're comfortable here, stay right here. If you want to go a little bit further, see if you can bring your left hand down to the floor in front of your left foot. Good. Now maybe you drop your right hand back behind your spine. There you go. Now maybe you lift your left hand up and you reach your left hand underneath your left thigh. So this way. There you go. Now maybe you see if you can find your palms. Yeah. If you can't find your palms, you reach for them. So this is the bound variation of side angle. Isn't it awesome? Take a breath in. You got this, Dorothy. Exhale, bring your hands back down to the floor. Now stay there in your runner stretch. Inch your fingers forward in front of your left foot. Shift the weight to your fingers and lift your right leg up for an airplane. Starting in the supported variation, and you can stay in the supported variation. If you're ready to lift your hands up and play with your balance, lift your palms up. See if you can fly your hands out to the side. Keep your body in one long, strong, powerful line. Balance and breathe. Bring a little more weight to the big toe of your left foot. If you fall out, get right back in it. Just try it. Breath in. Soft landing, step back to crescent lunge. Meet me right back in crescent lunge. Beautiful. Take a breath there. Hands to the ground, step back, high plank. Shoulders forward, lower down, low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a breath in. Exhale, side out. Ready to try the fallen star again? Yes, second side is going to be even better. Dorothy, how about I do it with you this time?
Yeah.
So we can do something together.
That's a great.
Yes, I think that's a great idea too. Downward facing dog, lift your right leg up to the sky. So everybody coming into three-legged dog. Now, pull your right knee over to your left elbow this time. So you're coming to your left elbow. As it touches the left elbow, extend your right leg underneath your body. So it's just a little twisty plank. It feels kind of funny, right? Now, walk your right hand to the center of the mat. Twist your hips up to the ceiling and let both feet touch the ground. So this is where you can either drop your hips back down if you need to, find your balance, and then lift your hips up a little bit higher. Maybe you bend your left leg. That's okay too. But try to stay right here and find as much freedom as you can. Now take a breath in. Let your left hand come back down to the floor. Look at that, sister. Good. Now, we're going to try something. Stay right here. Lift your right leg up and just hold it at a hover, working your inner thigh. Foot comes just an inch off the ground. There you go. Now come on back, three-legged dog. Right leg up to the ceiling. Yeah. Good. Reset, and now pull your right knee towards your nose. Step it forward through your hands and rise into crescent lunge. Yes. Fallen star is one of my favorite postures to do. It always makes me happy. Bring your hands to your heart center. Dorothy says it's pretty if you couldn't hear her. Twist over to the right and hook your left elbow to the outside of your right knee. Here's what I've learned. It doesn't have to look pretty, but if it feels pretty, it makes all the difference.
Yeah, I mean, first time ever doing it, it just feels pretty. I don't
It
know.
feels pretty. It looked pretty to me. Fly your arms if you're ready. Go a little bit deeper. Opening the shoulders, twisting your core a little deeper, a little stronger, finding more space. Stack your shoulders. Take a breath in, come back to center. Slowly and open out to warrior two. Breathe as you come into warrior two. Sit down a little bit deeper into your right leg. Ground your heels. Take a breath in, reverse your warrior. Find length through the right side of your body. Intercostal muscles are stretching. And now right elbow to the right thigh. Stretch your left hand up and over. Find side angle. We'll start here. And if you want to play around with the variations that I'm going to provide right now, play around with them. Otherwise, just hold the posture, breathe, and enjoy it. If you're ready, lower your right hand down towards the floor. It comes to the inside by the big toe of your right foot. Now drop your left hand back behind your spine. Yes, keep your palm flipped up. Perfect, Dorothy. Now reach your right hand underneath your right thigh. See if you can find the bind and start to reach for your fingers. If your fingers are not quite reaching, just go for it. Try to make them touch. Even if they're this far apart, every time you try the posture, they get a little bit closer. Nice. Hang on to it. Big breath in, open the shoulders. Gotta breathe for this one. Exhale your hands to the ground around your right foot. Perfect. Stay right there in your runner's stretch. Now inch your fingers in front of your right foot. Shift the weight to your right foot and pick up your left leg. Slowly, slowly find airplane. When you're ready, the hands release from the floor. Fly your arms out to the side. Breath in. Breath out. Again, breath in. Breath out. Beautiful balance. Solid through your standing leg. Exit with your exhale. Softly step back to crescent lunge. Left foot connects with the ground. Reach to the ceiling. Hands down to the ground. Step back, find a high plank. Lower down to low plank. Inhale, find upward facing dog. Exhale, find downward facing dog. Stay right here. Breath in. Sigh it out. Breath in. Sigh it out. Step your big toes together. Lift your left leg up to the sky. Fallen star, bring your left knee to your right elbow. Extend your left leg underneath your body. There you go, practice makes perfect. Leave your left hand on the ground, twist your hips up to the ceiling and gaze up. Push your hips up, find more freedom on this side. Breath in together. Exhale it out. Nice job. Bring your hand back down to the floor. Now hold that plank. See if you can lift your left foot up to a hover. Maybe the pinky toe comes a quarter of an inch off the floor. And now pull your leg back. Release to a three-legged dog. Left leg comes up to the ceiling. Pull your left knee towards your nose. Step it forward through your hands and rise into crescent lunge. Sit down a little bit more deeply. Breath in. Exhale. Open out. Find warrior two. Sit a little bit lower. You've been here before. Reverse your warrior, right hand down, reach back with the left hand. Now without even thinking about it, we will transition to half moon. Bring your left hand to the floor in front of your left foot and see if you can pick your right foot up off the ground with your right hand extended. Stack your shoulders, stack your hips, play around with it. If you have a block or a stack of books that you want to rest your bottom hand on, that's totally fine as well. Open your hips. If you've got nothing to rest your hand on, that's okay too. Hang on to it. You've got it. Big breath in. Keep your gaze on the floor to help with your balance. Stack the hips, belly tight. Breath in together. Both hands to the floor, leave your right leg extended. Standing split. Kick your right leg up a little bit higher. Walk your hands back towards your standing left leg. As you walk your hands back, pull your chest closer to the top of your thigh. Bring your left hand to the back of your left ankle. Keep your right hand where it is for now. If you're feeling like your balance is killer today, pick up your right hand and put it on the back of your left ankle. If you've got the grip with both hands, kick your right leg up a little bit higher. A little bit stronger, open your hip more, make it longer, make it feel pretty. Breath in. Begin to release your left hand from your left ankle, stay right there. Lift your chest up just halfway, keep your right leg off the ground. Come back up to airplane. You got this. You got this, sister. We're about to exit on that side. And when you're ready, step back, make your way to crescent lunge. Nothing like a lot of balancing to make you kind of lose your balance. Hands down to the ground. We got one side to go. We're going to wind it down. Step back, find high plank. Lower down to low plank. We got sweat dripping everywhere in the studio. Inhale, heart comes up. Exhale, find downward facing dog. Second side, we're going to go for it. Make it your best side. If you fall out of a posture, guess what? Good job. That means that you're trying really, really hard. Lift your right leg up. Twist your right knee to your left elbow. Fallen star, right leg extends underneath your body, right palm stays on the ground, and left hand twists up to the ceiling. Push your hips up, squeeze your butt, and extend. Find freedom and space. Make sure you're breathing. Hand comes back down to the floor. Square your shoulders. Lift your right leg up to a hover. There you go, lift it up, there it is, and now kick it back to three-legged dog. Nailed it. Breath in. Exhale, pull your right knee to your nose. Step it through your hands and rise into crescent lunge. Hips are open, hamstrings are open, balance is good, you're ready to do this. Open out, find warrior two. This posture is setting you up for where you're going in half moon. Bend your knees, sit your hips down low so that you have the space to get to the floor. Take a breath in, reach back, reverse your warrior. Stretch back as long as you can. Again, find space, create length. Half moon, right palm comes to the floor, a couple of inches in front of your right foot. Lift your left leg up and find your balance. Left hand extends to the sky. If it takes a while to get there, that's okay. Nice. Gaze on the floor. Can even soften your standing knee just a little bit if that helps. Stack your hips. Keep your gaze on the floor. You've got this. Strong through your right leg. Building strength, building balance, building muscular endurance. Hang on to it. Hands to the floor, standing split. Kick your left leg up a little higher. Walk your hands back towards your leg. Just walk back, walk back. As you walk back, bring your forehead, your chest down towards your right leg. Now pick up your right hand, bring it to the back of your right ankle. Kick higher with your left leg. Again, if your balance is feeling awesome today, take your left hand, place it around the back of your right ankle and pull. Create some traction. You're pulling your forehead towards your ankle, towards your shin. Very nice. Slowly begin to transition. Release your hands. Walk your fingers forward and lift your chest. Slow transition to airplane. Maybe fingertips stay down. Maybe if you've got some more left, you reach your hands up off the ground. And then step it back to crescent lunge. From wherever you are. Even if I don't know if you're on the floor, step it back to crescent lunge. That's cool too. Sit down lower. Hands to the ground, please. Step back to high plank. I call this one vinyasa to freedom. Exhale, lower down, low plank. Inhale, heart comes up and forward. Exhale, downward facing dog. Last vinyasa of the class. Lift your heels up, look forward. As you exhale, jump your feet all the way through your hands and sit down. Legs extend forward in front of you. Flex your feet, reach your arms up, and as you exhale, fold forward and grab the bottoms of your feet to stretch your hamstrings, to stretch your spine, to let your front body melt. Soften the back of your neck, the muscles of your face. This is what I believe about yoga. Not every practice has to be serious. Not every practice has to be perfect. I think yoga is so much fun because every time you come in, every time you find your way to your mat, there's something to play with, there's some place to go, there's a new shape to create within your body. It's all about the process. It's all about the fun. Take a breath in, lengthen your spine, release your toes and sit back up. Now roll down onto your back and bring your knees in towards your chest. Happy baby. Grab onto the soles of your feet, drop your knees down to your shoulders, and rock softly from side to side. Take a breath in. Exhale, sigh it out. Release the bottoms of your feet, knees come into your chest. Arms come out to the sides. Twist both of your knees over to the right and look back over your left shoulder. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, knees drop to the left and look back over your right shoulder. Inhale back to center. Feet down to the floor, bring your arms to your sides. Give me one gentle bridge. Just stretch the front of your body, the front of your legs. Push your hips up. Try to keep your feet about hips distance apart with your toes forward. Stretch your fingers down to the base of your heels. Triceps press down. Take a breath in, all together, lift up. Exhale, release all the way down to the floor. Knees to your chest one final time. Wrap your arms around your shins. Squeeze yourself into a tight little ball. Find as much compression in this posture as you can. Forehead comes up to your knees. Maybe it touches, maybe it doesn't. Breath in. Release down to the floor for your final savasana. Arms and legs come out wide. Take up space on your mat. If there are other stretches, other ways to cool down your body that you're craving, if you like to get yourself set up with a prop or a blanket for these last few minutes, now's a great time to get that set up. Take these last few minutes to lie in stillness. Let every muscle, every bone, every thought, every emotion soften. You showed up on your mat. You worked incredibly hard. You deserve this rest. Thank you so much for joining us today. We'll see you next time. Namaste.
Namaste.